Right then, guys, these are my comments for the quarterfinals. So I'm going to start off with Joey's category. So Katie, I thought your first song, Rise Up, I noticed your diction was going a lot, especially as you were on the higher notes. There was no R in Rise at all. So just be really careful with your diction. Some of the riffs are starting to get a little bit rough as well, so don't over decorate the song. Keep it, sometimes simpler is better. You know, keep the riffs that you can do clean, but the ones that you hear and you think, oh, they're a bit rough, just take them out or change them to just simplify them. But Chandelier was better in my opinion. It was a bit pitchy in places, especially again with the riffs. But it showed off your range. But just remember that simple and clean is sometimes better than when it's jam-packed with stuff and it's rough. But it was by no means bad vocals for either of them. Just find the strengths in your voice and work with those. But well done. Moving on to Rachel. Rachel, I feel like this week you've really kind of put yourself into this competition. The video, first of all, for your slower song for Burning Pile was amazing. It was very eerie and creepy, very odd. But it was, the song itself was very you. I felt like it sat beautifully in your voice. And Heart of Glass, I thought that was my favourite vocal of yours. It was something very different to everything else that you've done, but it suited you down to the ground. You had fun with it, and it was nice to see you perform it and dance and you know, just let go. And it was just very, very enjoyable. So big well done this week. Lacey, Bring Him Home. First off, you were dressed lovely, and as soon as the video started, seeing you in your little outfit and the lanterns and stuff, it just set the scene for the whole piece. So well done for doing that. It was quite mad actually, because I really felt the emotion and I connected to you with the emotion. And I shouldn't be able to do that because you're so young. You probably have no understanding of the meaning of that song really. So for me to have felt it emotionally is a really big well done for you. So you should give yourself a pat on the back for that. The light and shade in it was lovely, and it was just an overall lovely vocal. And then when we went to River Deep, it was the complete opposite, and you had all the attitude in the world. You were the sassiest 10-year-old I've ever seen in my life, and it was absolutely brilliant, all the movement and dancing, so well done. It was very different for you, but it was a lovely and a clean vocal. Just one thing to work on in the future is when you are going up, especially I noticed it more in Bring Him Home, if you open your mouth more and aim to get your tongue down at the back of your mouth, you'll get a much bigger and cleaner sound. So just pay attention to that as you go through, because you know you've got so much potential there. But well done, Lacey. So moving on to my category. So Dan, same with you really. I think you've really put yourself back in the competition this week. Hold My Girl was an absolutely, I literally wrote gorgeous. I thought the vocal was stunning. The harmonies that you put in, you know, the whole video and vocal as a whole was so simple, but it was really, really effective. So massive well done for that. I really loved it. And then I Believe in a Thing Called Love. I've been nagging you to do that for weeks. I wanted to hear you do it. Massive contrast from the first song, and it really showed off that you have got that big top range. The majority of it was lovely and clean. I love the fact that, you know, you filled the instrumentals with like a bit of like guitar and you know, just had fun with it. It was really nice to see that kind of that adventurous side of you, if you like. But yeah, you've had a really, really strong week this week, so well done. Molly, Not About Angels, it was very, very pretty, and it was nice that we saw you kind of flipping in and out of that falsetto, which is really, really stunning, and we haven't seen that much of it this season. So definitely explore that more going forward. And for me, it was one of your best vocals so far, so be really proud of yourself. And also, I'd like to acknowledge that your piano is improving week by week, so keep working at that because you will master it, you know, and it was a stunning piano this week. One Last Time, for me, it was kind of a bit of a downfall after Not About Angels. I think it was completely the wrong song for you. The only bit that I thought was kind of suited you was the choruses. I think if it was a stripped back acoustic version that you could have slowed down and got your words out properly and played with, it may have suited you better. But in terms of an upbeat song, I felt like you just chose it to be able to show us your belt in the chorus, because the rest of it was just kind of like, it just wasn't there. But the choruses were nice, and you did get up there, and you have got a lovely belt when you get there. So, you know, don't feel like you can't choose songs like that when there's a belt in it, because you can. You just need a bit more work on the verses and the lower register. But I definitely think you're more comfortable at the piano, and like we've said to you before, that's definitely your forte. But well done, and like I say, Not About Angels was one of your best vocals so far. Sam, Never Enough. I mean, you changed some of the rhythms, obviously, which we went through in the week and stuff, and you changed it because you're quite a straightforward singer. You like things to be kind of evenly placed, which is absolutely fine. So I personally, I didn't mind the changes. I quite liked them. And it was a really clean and smooth vocal. Those higher notes, the belter notes, were really smooth. They were clean. You finished them nicely. I don't think it was your best performance, but I don't think it's the best song for a quarterfinal. But it's a song you came with, and I think you did the best you could with it. So it was a nice vocal. Twist and Shout. I like the little bits of falsetto you put in. The screams were probably the cleanest that you've delivered them throughout this series. You know, you've been working on them week after week and throwing one in here and there. And today it was definitely the cleanest they've been. And I like the little gravel that you put in your voice through the verses as well. But it is, you know, a club song, and I said this to you in the week as well. You know, you've got to do something really special with Twist and Shout for it to not just be a song that someone sings in a club. And I feel like, although it was a good vocal in terms of like the category and the song choices that people are choosing and stuff like that, it was a bit of a low point. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a nice vocal. But just bear that in mind when you're choosing songs in the future. But well done. Zoe, your two songs today were really lovely. Now, Say You Love Me really showed off that low tone. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's just like chocolate. It melts me every time. And the softness that you're exploring in your voice now, because previously you've kind of just had it kind of on your chest but quiet, whereas now you're really putting like a soft whispery essence on some of your notes, and that's absolutely stunning. So really keep hold of that light and shade. Keep pushing yourself, because I could see the passion in this song. Like, I could see it come, it was oozing out of your face and out of your body language. So really keep that going, keep pushing yourself to do that. One thing I noticed in Say You Love Me was your diction, especially towards the end. You know, it was will you stay, but it's won't you stay. So just really be careful with your diction. I am a stickler for diction, but you know, I'm sure other people will have picked it up as well, so just be careful with your diction. Rumour has it was like your attitude did a 360 and you had all the attitude. I like the changes that you made to the melody, and I feel like the middle section as well, it went from like you being all attitudey, and then the middle section you really felt it and kind of gave out that emotion. And the falsetto part, you know, you're really starting to explore that falsetto, so keep doing that, because it's getting better and better and higher each week. So keep exploring that, but well done this week. And finally then on to Kelly's category. So Zach, your a cappella song, the Ed Sheeran one, I think it is. First off, big brave choice to do a cappella in any round, but especially in the quarterfinals, you know, when there's not many of you left. But brave choice, but it really did pay off for you this week. It was one of my favourite vocals of yours. It showed off your tone just so crisp and clear. Obviously without the backing, we just got to see exactly what your voice is all about, and it was just absolutely stunning, and that's what I wrote down. I wrote stunning. Heartbeat, I was not a fan, if I'm honest. I'm not a fan of the song. You know that I love your tone anyway. I just didn't like this. I just don't think it was right for you. It just when I was listening to it, it just felt wrong to me, and that's the only way I can explain it. I think you just need to be careful of song choices in future. But overall, especially with the a cappella song, well done. Charlotte, all I can say to you is that you really are something special. And I really want you to start believing in yourself more and more and more, because you could go all the way, not just in this competition, but you know, in bigger competitions, in the music industry as a whole. You could literally go all of the way because your voice is so natural and so special. You have the ability to. My mind, I literally just wrote wow, and that's all I can say about it. The riffs was just so beautiful, so clean as always. The tone of your voice is just, it's just amazing. Somebody else's guy, I really loved this. Because I loved seeing you come out of your shell and have fun with it, and you were like pointing down the camera and like giving us attitude, and it was something completely different from everything else we've seen from you, like being upbeat, first of all, but yeah, you just came out of your shell and it was just beautiful to watch, and the vocal again was stunning. One thing for you though is just really try and open your vowels at the top, and I said it to someone else earlier as well, but really try and open your mouth, open your vowels, clear your throat of your tongue when you get at the top, because then instead of getting that sound, you'll get like an open sound, and then your sound will just be unreal. You just get so much more sound out of there, and your belt will get much thicker. But overall, absolutely amazing as always. And last but not least, Sienna. So first of all, you did Toxic. Now, Toxic's a bit of a tricky one because the track itself is really hard to pitch. I mean, even as I was listening to it in the week, I was like, where's that note coming in? Because it's a very obscure track. So in terms of that, I think you did well. You know, there were bits that were pitchy, but you knew that anyway. But it is difficult to pitch. But I think what we can gather from doing Toxic and All About That Bass this week is that jazz really is your forte. That's where your voice sits well. So All About That Bass is probably one of my top two that you've done, if not maybe my favourite. You just gave a bit more in your video, a bit more attitude, a bit more eye contact. It sat so well in your voice. The lower tones were gorgeous. And I think you gave more attitude and more power than we've seen. Especially on that bit with the, well, my mama, she told me, that bit. I was like waiting for it to come, and then I was like, yes, girl, you got it. So keep going, keep working hard, because you do work really hard. And I thought you had a good week this week. Toxic probably still needs a bit more work, but All About That Bass really was lovely. But yeah, so well done to everyone. I thought it was a much better week this week, and good luck.